The Family Tree, Daniel McPherson, Book 1, written by Patricia Shannon, narrated by Patricia Shannon. Prologue, December 11, 1981, Denver, Colorado. Tap, tap, tap. The receptionist for the law firm of Rohrbach, Fairbanks & Wade, attorneys at law, knocked softly on the door to Paul Rohrbach's office. She pushed the door open and peeked around the corner. "Mr. Rohrbach, Miss Morris is here." "Thank you, Kelly. I'll be right out," Paul Rohrbach answered as he rose and walked from behind his desk to greet his old friend and client. "Julia, come in, come in. You look beautiful, as always." "Thank you, Paul, but I'm getting to be an old lady, and I'm hardly what you would call beautiful any more." Julia Ann Morris was 67 years old and wore her age gracefully. It wasn't hard to tell that she had indeed been a beauty in her youth. She was a small woman and still trim. Hair that had been an unusual copper color when she was young had turned mostly white now. "Would you like some coffee or tea?" Paul asked, as he escorted Julia Morris into his office and saw that she was seated comfortably on one of the overstuffed office chairs. "No, but thanks. This isn't a social call. I need your help." "What can I do for you?" Paul asked, and took a chair opposite her instead of returning to the chair behind his desk. "I want to revise my will and establish a trust fund for my daughter," Julia said bluntly. Paul Rohrbach fought hard to keep his face devoid of any emotion, but this statement had been a bombshell. Julia Ann Morris was one of the firm's oldest and wealthiest clients, and he had never heard of a daughter. "Paul," Julia said, "did you hear me?" Yes, of course. You caught me off guard, that's all." "I didn't know you had a daughter." "I did. I gave her up for adoption when she was born. It was a long time ago, 49 years to be exact. That was a difficult time for me, and I would rather not go into the details right now." "I see." Paul Rohrbach gazed intently at his client and waited for a long moment before she continued on with the story. "Paul, I want you to find her for me. I don't intend to interfere in her life. It's too late for that now. I just want to know before I die that she is all right, and I want to leave her a substantial inheritance. Can you help me?" "You do understand you'll have to tell me everything about her, every detail that you can remember, when and where she was born, and her father's name, of course." "Yes, I know. I have everything written down." Julia took a large envelope from her purse and handed it to Paul Rohrbach, her good friend and attorney. "I'll try. I can't make any promises, but I will do everything in my power to help you find her," Paul assured her. "That's all I can ask." "I knew I could count on you." Julia smiled and rose to leave. Chapter 1. Danny McPherson paced up and down the sidewalk in front of his Capitol Hill apartment building. The tall, sandy-haired young man had always been a pacer, never able to stand still when he was nervous or excited. This was one of those times. In a few minutes he would be off on his honeymoon. Danny wanted to be a con man. It was as simple as that. Now, at last, after so many failed schemes that he couldn't even count them, he had made it big. 2 days ago he had married a woman who was rich beyond his wildest dreams, and pretty to boot. Danny had never considered it all that important whether a woman was pretty or not. If he liked her, he liked her. But on the other hand, he figured it didn't hurt. Cindy Lewis was now Cindy McPherson, Danny's new wife, and she wanted to move back to Texas so they could live on the ranch her parents owned. Considering the amount of money involved, whatever Cindy wanted, Danny wanted. He knew he would miss the Capitol Hill neighborhood, with its close proximity to lower downtown Denver, known as Lodo, and the many sports bars, restaurants, theaters, art galleries, and comedy clubs he liked to frequent. He had moved to the converted ruby sandstone mansion a little over 2 years ago, and was sorry, in a way, to be leaving. He liked
Sample complete. Ready to continue?